What's going on, guys? It is Tony from Lone Wolf Paintball. Today, I'm going to show you how to install the Virtue InCharge on your Spire 5 and the steps to do it on the Spire IR2.
And why? Because who's the best source for paintball?
That would be lonewolfpaintball.com, of course. So yeah, we're jumping right on into this one, guys. But before we do, head on over to pbswagbag.com. Use our code LWP10 at checkout to save 10% off your first monthly subscription. Great mystery bags each and every single month. All right, so you got your Virtue InCharge. These bad boys replace any of your batteries. Normally it's AA's that go into these hoppers because it doesn't only work on the Spire 5, LTRs, R2s, etc. So we have the InCharge here. We're going to show you how to do it on the 5 and the steps to do it on the IR2. So let's bust open this Spire 5 hopper and see what we got. So make sure it's not in the locked position. And we're going to slide it open, and then you're going to use your back hinge to get the shelf out. And this is where all the magic happens. You got it, Mark? Coming on in? Are you good there?
Nope, I'm coming.
All right, so this is the tray of the Spire 5 hopper. You see these black and red wires right here that run to your current battery pack. You're going to need to unplug those. So I do have a small Phillips head screwdriver there. And then I always bring a pair of needle nose pliers just in case. I'm not trying to have to resolder any wires here. So just real gently, I'm going to grab them both and kind of just slowly wiggle that on out so we're not pulling out any of the wires. Real slow. And then boom, kind of pull that off to the side. Now there's going to be, this is where the Phillips head comes into play. We're going to have to pull these Velcro pieces apart to have access to, let me see if I can't tuck that underneath. There's a small black screw there. There's two of them, one there and one there. We're simply going to be pulling these bad boys on out. And don't get rid of these screw guys because you can reuse this when you install that new battery pack, the InCharge. And I'll show you here in just a second. So that's simple, guys. You can keep this, set it off to the side, and then those two little black screws just come on out, and you can set, just keep this battery pack. You might use it in the future if your InCharge ever dies on you, but that's probably not going to be the case. So now we have a brand new in-package InCharge. We're going to bust this bad boy on open. And by the way, guys, these retail InCharge for 50 bucks. It's a lithium ion battery. So you've got your actual InCharge there, and then you've got your wiring harness kit with extra screws if you need be, depending on what hopper you're putting it on. Obviously today it's the Spire 5. So looks like, Mark, if you can zoom in this area, we've got a 3-prong system going on here. And obviously it plugs into the 2-prong that I just pulled out there. So we're going to be looking in the packaging for the 3-prong and a 2-prong because it does come with multiple options. Obviously none of those. It looks like a 5-spot there. So that's definitely not going to be it. I'm looking for a 3 and a 2.
Yeah, because if you buy this InCharge, guys, it works on the R2, the LTR, the Spire IRs, and the Spire 4s and 5s.
So yeah, there's multiple uses for this InCharge battery pack. So I found my 3 and my 2. It's going to be the longest cord in the pack. Yep, 3 and 2. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure this back piece, it's got the slit in there, Mark, is going to be towards the eyes or the actual whatever you want to call this.
The feeding mechanism?
Yeah, the feed tube of your hopper. So we're going to put that on there. And then there is styrofoam in the back. You're literally just going to be pressing this screw through, kind of breaking the seal on the styrofoam and then installing it on the hopper. So we're going to do that right now. So it literally just kind of sits right nice and neat right in there. We're going to throw the screw in there. So I'm just reusing the screws that I took out. There are extra screws in the actual kit though, like I showed you guys earlier. So we're going to place that bad boy in there. Give it a nice tight down there. So obviously you want to make sure it's not going to wiggle or move on you. Obviously you're moving your gun a lot. Your hopper constantly is up and down. So make sure it's nice and tight for you. And now simply as that, Mark, we're just going to plug this bad boy right on in. So I'm going to be going 3-prong and we're going to click that in place. And then I'm going to run this wire. I think best for this is run it down kind of this side of the actual tray itself. And then we're going to plug it into the 2-prong. And if everything's correct, which is pretty simple to do, this should turn on and we should have some power. We do. So it's the Spire 5 real quick video on how to install it. We're going to tear into the IR2 next. Obviously it's all lithium ion rechargeable here. So that is how you install the InCharge. And let's hop on over to the IR2 real quick, Mark, and just show them what we got going on inside. We're going to pop the top. Take that off, and then we're going to open it up. Opens the same way. But this is what is different on the IR2 versus the Spire 5. So same thing with this battery pack. You're going to take out the screw. Let's see if there's one or two in this bad boy. There's one bigger one that sits right down in there. So one bigger screw. We're going to take that out. But now, if you can get a zoom in or a close-up, Mark, this tiny silver screw here is going to allow you access to take off these eyes and pull that up and out. So one tiny silver screw, that's because the power cord runs right near that capacitor, and without trying to get crazy and ripping wires out, just take that simple screw out, these eyes will come off, and then you have your back plate here. Two more Phillips head screws as well. Those will both come out. And then this is the biggest reason why I'm probably not doing that on video. They've got these zip tied in there to keep everything nice and tight. I don't blame them, but you guys are going to have to kind of cut, well, not kind of, you guys are going to have to cut that zip tie off so you can actually access where we're going to be plugging it into. So once again, guys, you're going to take your battery pack out. One tiny little silver screw right there. You're going to pull that out. This cover will come off. Take the actual back plate off with these two screws, and then you're going to be running that same wire once again. Put the InCharge in, and then run that wire back through here, plug it in, and then you can reinstall these two screws, reinstall your eyes, and you are ready to rock. So that is just a quick little video on how to install your brand new Virtue InCharge battery pack into the Spire 5 and the Spire IR2. Obviously, if you guys want to pick these bad boys up, visit the website. It is lonewolfpaintball.com.
See ya.